Welcome back. You're still on the press, reaching you live from Abuja studios, and I am Messi Babajide. Joining us now is none other than Dr. Olamide Samuel. Of course, he's a new face on the press. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I was going to say how is the economy treating you, but then I'll still go ahead and say that.
We're actually in the same economy, so whatever.
But it looks like you're glowing, and looks like the economy isn't affecting you at all.
Well, if you say so. But you can see it from outside.
Yeah.
But for me, I know what I'm facing.
You know, Yoruba will say Asholu Bashiri.
Of
I'm
course,
sure our viewers are interested in what that means. The clothing is what is covering most of everybody's. Yes. But then, okay, today our viewers will be talking majorly about the NLC strike. There's been lots of back and forth between NLC and the federal government since yesterday. Now, some persons have asked that is this the appropriate time for NLC to go on strike, given that it's just some persons have said NLC has gone on strike 4 times in 8 months and it's indefinite. They always come out to say it's a warning strike. Is it really a warning strike? We'd like to get your overview on that, so we'll be turning our phone lines on for you to make a contribution, and we'll be calling some of our reporters from Lagos, Ondo and Abeokuta most likely. But then I would like to get Doctor's opinion on all of the, let me use the word Ula Balu, going on right now as regards NLC. Of course, TUC have come out to say they are not interested in this strike. But then your general overview on all of this strike.
Well, I actually want to say this, that Nigerians, I think I said it yesterday while I was on a program, Yoruba channel. I said we have these 3 issues that concerns 3 set of a segment of the country. NLC has their own issue. We have that of Uzodinma. Then we have that of federal government. So from the angle of Uzodinma, which he actually cleared yesterday, that he's not holding the
Imo
State staff. Before he cleared this, I think he should have done this even earlier before now, because people of Imo State did not actually vote for him in the first place. It was court that put him on them.
And the Supreme Court governor name.
So from there, we now have him now being elected as the governor. So because of that, he should have proven himself to be a worthy person, that okay, even if at all you did not vote for me, this is what I have in mind to do. And he should have actually reacted so well as touches workers' welfare. That's number 1. And talk about Joe Ajaero himself. The issue that we're having is Joe Ajaero is actually playing politics with NLC. That's just a fact. Because
some persons, sorry to cut you, sorry to bother in, some persons have said it's probably NLC is not a body that should be partisanship. Then another faction is equally saying you had issues with Imo State government or governor directly. So why should you roll over the issue you have to the federal government? But then some persons are saying, oh, it's impunity, that if you could outrightly attack the NLC president, that means the Nigerian workers or the Nigerian labor force, they are not safe.
The issue is this. Let us get it right, that though you might have someone that you're actually supporting in your mind as the NLC president, but it is not in your capacity. It is not right. It is uncalled for you to come out plainly, let everybody see you that you're supporting a particular party. You're actually working for a particular party. With that, no government will actually take you serious. And every step that you're taking from that moment is going to be seen as a political steps. And at the same time, for me, even if you're the one, you wouldn't want to actually take that as a step for the welfare of the workers. Though he said, and everybody says that, okay, what happened that very day was uncalled for, which we actually, all of us, like myself, I said, this is uncalled for, this shouldn't happen. To NLC, to any Nigerians, not to talk of NLC president. Because if you're talking about NLC president, you're actually talking about the representative, the vigor of the whole workers in Nigeria. So even to me, if the constitution will actually do it right, NLC president is actually bigger than any governor of a state.
But do you think?
But the fact is, because himself had actually involved in politics. So the steps are being referred to as political steps. And what happened had been tagged as political sins and occurrences. So for that, we actually gave him his blame. Now, extending it to general, to Nigeria as a whole, is what actually the federal government should have looked into. When that thing occurred, federal government should have said, okay, fine, Uzodinma, if you know that you didn't know anything about this, then come out plain, let the police that actually did that be arrested, be prosecuted.
But the police have said they were shielding him from...
They were shielding him. The issue is this. You said you were shielding him from thugs. Thugs were there. You were there when thugs were harassing him. You did not arrest the thugs, but you arrested the person that was harassed. From where did that one come from? So let's be sincere to ourselves. Police had their fault, which is why I always say that federal government should have intervened. We wouldn't have had this strike. Though the strike is uncalled for, because at least you are still, because of a particular state, because of a particular incident. I heard this morning when a representative of the workers from Lagos State was being interviewed, and he said though it's actually the main point of them going on strike, but there are other things. What are the other things that have not been settled with the federal government?
In one of the papers this morning, they wrote that they said the strike is misplaced priority, and of course we have partial compliance in some states. But then it begs the question, because some papers outrightly said they went on strike because Ajero was beaten blue black. But then the question is, you said something about not participating in politics. Remember, we have the right to vote and be voted for.
There's difference between having the right to vote and being voted for.
And another thing, are you trying to say that as NLC president, he shouldn't participate in politics at all? Because whether we like it or not, we have one person we are shifting our energy towards. Yes.
Nobody is actually saying he should not participate in politics. Even as a journalist, I have the person that I'm supporting. But with the position he is on occupying now, he is not supposed to be seen with a particular party, holding a particular party's flag.
Why shouldn't he be seen with a particular party?
Because you are heading an institution that your members have different opinions. They have different people they are supporting. As you are supporting a particular person, your members are supporting another person. So you now taking that organization, taking that workforce to focus on a particular person is what we are actually saying that is not right, because that is your own opinion, not our opinion, not my opinion, not your opinion, because the person you are supporting might not be the person I'm supporting, might not be the person another person is supporting. So if you have different opinions, let's now assume that you are not the NLC president. Now, I am the NLC president and you are supporting another person. Now I am holding a flag of a particular party, telling the Nigerians that this is whom we are supporting. Who is we?
Okay, all right, Doctor. You spoke about Lagos, so we've just made a call to one Mr. Victor Uriola. Good morning, Mr. Victor.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you. We'd like you to give us update as regards the NLC strike in Lagos State for today. There's been rumor that there's partial compliance in Lagos State, and then some persons have said NLC is on strike because of Ajero's fracas with the Imo State governor. We'd like you to report from your end as to what is going on, Mr. Victor Uriola.
I think there is a partial compliance in Lagos, and most of other areas are not affected. For instance, the port, I think the port was shut down yesterday, and all those things, nothing is going on there. But some of those banks that existed, there's work, they are working and all those things, and you go to the secretariat, you see people milling around the secretariat. So there's partial. Maybe I think it's due to maybe communication gap to the Lagos end, or maybe because so often the National Labour Congress and TUC will call for a strike, maybe at the midnight or just
Okay, all right. Speaking about responsibilities, are some banks currently open right now? And if, we've heard that ASU too they've released a memo about them joining the strike. Do you think schools are opened, banks equally? And finally, on that particular question, they said the national grid is down, and they said there's total blackout for some states. So we're wondering if Lagos is part of those states that has total blackouts.
No, Lagos is not part of it, because I'm enjoying electricity now.
Okay.
I have light now in my place, so Lagos is not sure. It's not shut down. I don't think that is correct, because we have light now.
Okay. What about banks? What about banks?
Yes. The banks are working.
Okay.
Banks are working.
Okay. All right. Is there any other additional information you'd like to add for us, Victor Oriola?
I think the call for strike, you see, once I think it's maybe because it is being mixed with the politics of this Imo State governor encounter with that of the National Labour Congress president.
Yeah.
So if you look at the back and forth, this conversation is inside that the thing is mired in kind of the politics of the local politics of the most states. So I think maybe that is why some people are forgetting or having I think a second look at the whole issue. But I think they've clarified that it's not about the politics of the most states, and
okay.
They've mentioned some other states that they are even having issues with the state government over the labor and the labor wage award and some other issues.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Victor Oriola. Thank you for that contribution. We'll be reaching out to you later on one of our other programs for you to, of course, give us briefings and update us on what's going on in Lagos. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, you've heard what he said. Looks like Lagos is not even in compliance. Maybe because, according to him, he said because the memo they released was midnight. It was, I think, Sunday stroke Monday. And then some people are still thinking, will they call off the strike? Will they not call off the strike? But my major concern now, I'd like to ask you this question. They said this is the fourth warning strike in 8 months. But do you think the federal government would actually push through and give the Nigeria Labour Congress what they want? And now in particular, the ASU has joined this strike to say, oh, we are in compliance. And then I saw something a few days back about ASU saying the federal government stated that they want revenues from schools and universities and not 40% revenue. Yeah. And universities are not revenue making. I mean, they are not for that purpose.
They said so.
They said so. So what's your general overview on
Well, let me first of all make this clarification that TCN came out yesterday and debunked the fact that there is going to be total blackouts. Of course, we had light yesterday till this morning before I left for work. That is about that for Nigerians to know. Talking about these fourth warning strike, I have said it several times that NLC now is now a joker to federal government. So federal government is not actually taking them so serious again, because number one thing is, I am not saying NLC is not an institution that is fighting for Nigerians again, but the fact is NLC now had actually politicized that institution, and politicizing that institution is actually what is giving us issue. Let's talk about Adams Oshiomhole, who is now a Nigerian senator. Let's talk about Chris Ngige, who was once a minister. Let's talk about Festus Keyamo. Let's talk. These people had led this NLC. And when you talk about Adams Oshiomhole, you know very sure people that know Adams Oshiomhole's era will tell you that the man fought back and front, and with that his khaki that will be going from one place to another. Nobody could actually believe that he will join politics. But when he was ready to join politics, he left NLC. Differentiate between NLC and your political career. If you know you want to lead you want to be a politician squarely, then leave the NLC for those that will be leading them. You can actually be leading from behind. Nobody is disputing that fact. But you being the NLC leader and at the same time being known with a particular party, federal government will not be taking you serious. And that is why you see. Another thing is, you see, these NLC executives now, I am actually seeing them as NLC representatives that are only for themselves. Let me clear that. Number one thing is, when they go to federal government for a dialogue, the outcome of the dialogue is will not be well detailed. They will just tell you, okay, we've talked with the federal government has promised us and that's all. We are calling it off. We are calling this one off. Then later, they will give federal government a short period of time.
Are you trying to say the federal government will call their bluff sooner or later when it comes to this this strike?
It's just as simple as if you check very well. Festus was said something this morning.
Yeah,
he said
strike is misplaced priority. On nation paper.
But at the same time, the court injunction that they are talking about, they were not being served. According to them, that the court injunction that federal government is actually talking about, the court did not actually serve the NLC. So with that, I am not talking about, when we are talking about that court order, I think the court order is actually misplaced priority too. Let's be sincere.
Okay, well, let's quickly take this call. Good morning, Akin from Lagos.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the press. Your name?
Yeah, this is Akim calling from Lagos. And hello to analyst.
All right, please join in on the conversation in 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Okay. First and foremost, let me first condemn the beating of the NLC president. It is uncalled for. There's no any justification for that beating. Okay? But again, there's no any justification for him himself, because he is not showing an example as a leader that can absorb pain on behalf of the rest of the people he's leading. If because of that beating, and most definitely is what triggered the nationwide strike it's calling, because if that beating has not arrived, we wouldn't have called for that nationwide strike. That area, he has got it wrong as far as I'm concerned. And again, let me go quick a little bit to the history, because I cannot forget during the Muhammadu Buhari time, when the Central Bank of Nigeria confiscated our money. That was the time I expected a Labour president to rise and stand for the country. Forget about the flimsy excuses they were giving that because politicians will spend money. Didn't the politicians spend the money at that time? So with that kind of example, and the Labour union could not even rise and stand for Nigeria, I know how much I used in order to get 500,000 naira. I know what I lost. Let me say, I wasted just for me to get that cash. You understand? I know how we were frustrated in the hospital. You understand? Anybody who went on an experience on that will say it. So he is calling for a nationwide strike at this moment. Is just useless as far as I'm concerned. As long as that time they did not show up, and one can conclude that they were persistent. And even that emo fight, you understand, the timing and the moment when he went there, people will conclude, and it's very obvious that there is political aspect of it.
Okay.
So finally, if this Ajero, the present president of Labour, if he really wants Nigeria to trust him, because it's never like other Adam Oshomole or people before Adam Oshomole. It's never like Adam Oshomole. He is Pakistan. So if he wants Nigeria to trust him, the issue of Labour Party, he has to put that one aside. Then let's talk about Nigeria. Anything they want to fight for the workers of Nigeria, let them be relating to Nigerians that everybody is knowing what they are discussing. They cannot be doing things secretly. Who know when they were right or not? I'm not accusing them, but that is how they were displaying it to us. So this nationwide strike is calling is just useless. Two elephant fighting is the grass that will suffer it. The Nigerian masses will suffer it. And let me not call them that whether they are crazy or not. We are suffering of the economy now. They are still calling on one useless nationwide strike because it was beating.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
He must get his judgment for that beating, but he must not use the beating to now put us in pain. Okay. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I came from Lagos.
Yeah.
All right. This is Elder Zion. Good morning, Elder Zion.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. How am I doing now?
Oh, fine. Thank you, Elder Zion.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Please, I want to comment the election that the all-season election,
all-cycle election.
Mainly that of Imo.
Okay.
You see, on the night, I commented on this election.
Okay.
Yes, that they have said anybody who is hoping for a transparent election from Yakubu, come up Yakubu, is wasting his time. Because Yakubu can never conduct any meaningful election. Yakubu is corrupt. Most INEC officers are corrupt. That's why you see what happened in that three elections. None of the three elections was transparent. All of them were fraudulent. But all the same, Nigeria will continue to pray that God will change the situation for us. Another thing is that Tinubu is now in Saudi Arabia. And some time ago, like 3 days ago, Bayo, I don't know that, his spokesperson, he told Nigeria that Saudi Arabia president is coming to repair Nigerian affiliation. So, but many people, how can he command the refineries? On what grounds? Even my wife was asking me, on what grounds is this man coming to Islamize us? Because we don't know the grounds that we made the man to come to repair our refineries. But the truth is unfolding now. They are now telling us this morning from the presidency that a bank, organizing a bank, arranging with a bank, that give them loan to use to refurbish the refineries. To which one we did. So finally, my sister, my daughter, I want to tell you, to tell Nigerians, all this going about, looking for those that will come and invest here, can waste of time. And a diligent man, a wise person, it starts with the little house.
All right, thank you, Elder Zion.
To develop, then bit by bit, God will bless that person.
Okay.
His business will grow. Tinubu should come down home and start doing something.
Okay.
For Nigeria, production is what we need.
Okay.
Production, starting from agricultural production. That is what we build Nigerian economy.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Elder Zion, for that call. You've had our last caller, and we're rounding up in about 6 minutes. I'd like you to just say something about the former presidential candidate of PDP, that's Atiku Abubakar, saying most of these parties should merge together. He said that's NNPP, called SDP, called Labour Party, PDP, and say they should form a coalition and come together and fight against APC. Do you think that's something we should look out for in Nigeria? Because he said he doesn't want a one-party system in Nigeria. Well,
the only thing is just that that's just the fact. I was actually telling someone yesterday. Okay, I think it was Pamela that we were discussing yesterday. I said the only I'm actually looking for the next 4 years where we'll have APC as an opposition. APC is actually better as an opposition compared to PDP. PDP is nowhere to be found as an opposition. They have done nothing. Because if it were to be APC that is an opposition now, I know very sure that this country would have been better, because APC will do everything. Even if what government is doing is right, they will still talk, so that everybody will know that, okay, there is something, there is a loophole in what government, the administration is actually doing. So I'm looking for coming days that APC will still become an opposition and will be able to know what exactly is going on in the country. And apart from that, with what Atiku Abubakar called for, I want to say that we discussed it yesterday, and I said the best way for PDP to come back is to merge. You see that APC, it was merger that made APC to be strong like this. So if PDP can actually lower their shoulder and merge with other parties, I think they will be able to beat APC. But without that, I think they're just playing, because I'm not seeing them coming up at all with this present formation that they have. Their formation is actually 40. Look at what happened during the election. Look at the 5 governors. Only Wike actually broke the party.
All right. Let's quickly take a call from Temitope Adedeji from Akure. Good morning, Temitope. Good morning. You're on to Messi from KAFTAN Television, and you're on to Abuja Studios.
Okay.
All right. We would like to get an update as to what is happening as regards NLC strike from Ondo State. Please, can you report for us from Akure, right?
Okay. Just before I say anything right away, we are now in the presence of TUC chairman in Ondo State. Maybe probably I want to place the phone before you so that you can speak to him straight away.
All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're on to Messi from KAFTAN Television.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, okay. All right. Can you please give us an overbrief as to what is going on with the strike as regards the Akure chapter, or better still, Ondo State chapter of NLC and TUC?
Well, the issue of strike, said the present struggle is national directive to all states across the nation. So, and ours is to comply.
Okay.
And there is total compliance in Ondo State.
Okay, all right. I'll still like to barge in on why this strike is actually ongoing, because some parties have said this strike is due to the fact that Ajay Road, as the NLC president, was beaten blue-black in Imo State. So I'd like you to confirm to our persons as to why this strike is ongoing. Is there an issue you have with the federal government? Is there something you want from the federal government? And I mean, 4 strikes in 8 months. Some persons have said that's equally a lot. Please, can you shed more light on that?
Please, can you come again so that I can understand you very well?
Okay, all right. I'm saying some parties have said this is the 4th strike in 8 months. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, nothing on those states anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4th or whatever numbers of strike, we are the sort of government breach of contract between the 2 of us.
Okay.
When we had meetings with government, and they keep on promising. Then I think the best language at this critical time is what our national leaders are introducing to the government.
Okay, speaking about national leader introducing something to the government, one of our national dailies this morning, that's the Nation's newspaper, said the strike is a misplaced priority. And then in another paper, it said that is this strike ongoing because the NLC president, because we saw that the TUC actually joined the NLC. So is this strike due to the fact that Ajero was had fracas with Imo State government, or this is with the federal government? And when you say the federal government breached your contract, what contract exactly are you talking about?
Well, I've just told you that the reason for this strike is a sort of vision of agreement between our leaders and federal government.
Okay.
The present one is very, very different and clear.
Okay.
Our national leader, the president of Nigeria Labour Congress, went on national assignment to Imo State, and the government feels threatened, and they use what they have. Brutalize, almost wanted to kill him. That's just it. So, and the way some of us are looking at it, we are looking at it as individual angle. Ajero.
Okay.
It's not about Ajero, it's about the entity that Ajero is
representing. Okay.
It's about the institution.
Okay.
It's not about individual.
Okay.
And some people who are even saying Nigerians is from Imo. Yes, and from somewhere too. Likewise yourself.
Okay.
Then Ajero was in Imo for national assignment.
Okay.
And below on the state.
All right, thank you for clarifying that.
To protect
okay.
him, just the way they protect the president of this country.
Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that. That's the NLC president for Ondo State chapter, if I'm correct, right?
Trade Union Congress Chairman, Ondo State.
Trade Union Congress Chairman, Ondo State. All right. Thank you very much for that contribution and for clarifying. All right, please, can we have Temitope back on the phone line now?
Yes, I'm here with you.
Okay, all right. As regards the... Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, as regards the... Yeah, we can hear you, yeah. In 2 seconds or let's say...
Hold on for a minute for the NLC chairman in Ondo State to also speak to you.
Okay, all right. So, we would have to call you back after this program. All right, we will have to call you back. Okay, all right. We would have to call you back, Temitope, on our other program, and then you give us a full briefing on that, because this is where we wrap it up for this particular program.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, our viewers at home, thank you very much for joining us today on the program, and thank you to Dr. Olamide for doing the perfect analysis to this. This is where we draw the curtain for today's prize. Thank you for staying tuned. I remain Messi Babajide. See you same time, same station tomorrow. Bye.